Go for it.
Coming to you live via Skype, this is Full Disclosure Show. I am your host, Will Morris, along with my partner, Mr. Rasul Sharif. Maybe not. We will have our third man in our crew, Mr. Breeze DBL. Let you guys know a little bit later on in the show whether or not he will be joining us. Please follow us at zitapp.com. Search All Access 660, and you will find any and everything that you want to know about the In Full Disclosure Show. If you want to talk to my partner, you can always check him out at Rasul Sharif 660 on Instagram and on Twitter. If you want to talk to our engineer, even though he's not here right now, please check him out at BreezeDBL on IG and on Twitter. Please send him some love. Last but not least, if you want to talk to me, you can always follow me at MoMorris660 on Instagram and on Twitter. Today, May the 7th, 5 months into 2017, 1 week away from Mother's Day. How are you, partner?
Good, man. I've only been asleep for about 30 minutes since last night, so kind of wired here. Not anything crazy.
30 minutes?
Yeah, man, it was a rough one, but just so I might be kind of wired today, but it's good to be back, man. It's good to get my Sunday fixed. I don't know what I'm going to do in the next 4 or 5 months when my contract's up. Just sleep in on, it'll be football Sunday, so I guess I could just work on FanDuel and, do whatever I got to do. So, yeah. But other than that, man, the 2 weeks have been, I can't really complain about them. It's been good. The weather's been up and down here. It's back to feeling like early spring, early fall days when we got a touch of that could be getting ready to be summer. So Mother Nature's playing some tricks on us. Other than that, everything's all good. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. No complaints. We did have a 2-week hiatus. And you know what? Both weeks were because of me. Now that I sit here and think about it.
I'm glad you said that because, I get some messages that, you must really be cashing in on that vacation time. I'm like, you got to think whatever you got to think out there,
It really was because of me. Now that I sit here and think about it. But at least one of the weeks, I had a good time. I was away on vacation. Went and hung out for a week in some sunshine. The weather wasn't perfect, but it was still good enough. It was just good to be away. Enjoyed myself, and now I'm back on the grind. Pretty much here, I think, for the rest of the summer. Unfortunately, I don't have anything else planned, or I can't do anything else at this particular point. But I'm good, though. No complaints,
I got something for you. I wanted to ask you a question. I was trying to figure out how to phrase this without offending anybody. Let's just get right out the gate. So I'm thinking about Cinco de Mayo, which, there were a lot of festivities obviously going on. And I didn't partake in any of them, I just started back to getting right. So, staying away for a few. But I got to thinking, man, and I said, I think that us black folks are the only folks that everybody doesn't celebrate something that we celebrate. Everybody gets together for Cinco de Mayo, no matter what you are, black, white. I'm riding by the bars, they're loaded with everybody. If you're in Jersey City or Hoboken, it's white people, mostly. If you downtown North, it's mostly black folks somewhere. Whatever it is, but it's all types. There's some places you go where the groups are diverse, but they're out for this Spanish Day, this Latin Day, or St. Patty's Day. They're out for this Irish Day. And I was just thinking, man, do black folks have any day that everybody decides to go out for? Nah, right?
I don't know if we have a day that we all decide to go out for.
It's Friday. No, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. And I just thought I thought that was kind of interesting. So I'm trying to float that out there. If anybody's listening, you can text me a day that we could go out. And do you think that everybody would go out for that day?
I think about that. I've never thought of that, and it's a good question. We generally seem to be behind on everything that happens, or on many things.
Like if there's especially in this region, I mean, I don't do it now, but years ago, you'd be running down to the Portuguese Day Parade, Puerto Rican Day Parade in the city. You'd be running like, I was a part of a group that put together an African American Day Heritage Parade, so I used to have to be there. But I think that parade still goes on. I never go. And I don't go to any parade, so I could kind of say, hey, I don't do any of them. But, when you went to the African American Heritage Day Parade, all you saw was black folks.
Right.
For Puerto Rican Day Parades, you see all kind of people. If you go down to the Portuguese parade, you see all kind of people. So I just wonder what that dynamic is all about.
Well, I think generally, most other cultures embrace their culture more than we embrace ours. They're more passionate. I mean, I use the word embrace.
No, but I get that. I understand that. I think you're absolutely correct on that. But
right.
The fact that other cultures don't embrace our culture at all is the point that I was trying to make. Like, I'm trying to figure out why that is what it is.
Well, they do embrace it. They don't embrace it to party with us on any specific day. But I mean, I'm going to say that African Americans own the hip hop culture. Well, we started it.
Well, so let me strip that down a little bit. Not things that we may be responsible for have a heavy hand in growing. I'm not saying that, but like
just a specific day
or a specific event. So when we were young, I never went with you, but I assume that you've been to the Puerto Rican Day Parade in the city.
Right. Yes.
And I don't know how many people outside of the African American culture ever come to the African American Parade.
Right.
I don't know, like, are there some Italians getting together saying, yo, Saturday, we got to go down to the African American Day Parade? Like, because I know we were like that, saying, hey, we got
at the San Gennaro Festival or whatever it is they used to have.
Or whatever. Like, I mean, I used to fly up to Canada to go to Caravana.
Right.
So, fly out to go to it. You know what I mean? Not just jump on the subway.
Right.
We making a trip for 4 days and $1,000 to go up here and hang out to watch like some kind of carnival kind of thing.
Right.
They was always talk about going to Brazil and Colombia to go see those festivals and do whatever. So I was just curious, man, to see. It's interesting to see. Like, I wonder why. I just want to float that out there and see if I can get an answer as to why. Because like honestly, at some point, so at 19, 20, obviously, or 22, 23, obviously, you're going for the scenery. By 28, 29, I mean, I still was going for some scenery maybe, but I'm like kind of going for food and going for that kind of stuff. So it's like, I'm eating at every vendor, trying to eat this and that or whatever. So it's more about that than just, a good scenery is always good, but, my focus was a little different. So, I mean, like, even from a cultural perspective, I'm trying to think, like, would the Portuguese guy be like, man, I got to go get some mac and cheese from the festival? Like, I might be saying, I got to go get an empanada. Oh, they got these empanadas out there. I got to go see what's really good with these empanadas. So, I was just curious about it. I thought about that on Cinco de Mayo, and I was like, I couldn't figure out the answer. I saved it. I haven't talked to anybody about it. I saved it for the air today, just to kind of, and hopefully somebody gives me some feedback if anybody's out there listening.
Cool. What's going on with your boy Donald Trump, man? He's taking a victory lap of something that is not finished with this Affordable Health Care Act, which I think is what it's called now. It's no longer Obamacare, since they have repealed, quote unquote, still has to go through the Senate, obviously, and it won't be the same bill that the Republicans and Trump have just pushed forward. Boy, he's taking a lot of credit, taking a lot of victory lap for something that's not finalized and won't be finalized in the form that it currently is today. Thoughts?
Let's take a quick break.
Oh, we got break time. Okay.
No, we're early. Let's take an early break, and we'll be back in 3 minutes. And I will absolutely address that. I'm going to address that 2 ways. You're going to be a little surprised. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
All right. 18 minutes after our Back to the Game Full Disclosure show. As you guys can see, we have no entertainment for you music-wise today, but it's all good. We will try and entertain you during our 15-minute blocks that we have throughout the session of the show. Real quick, shouts out to Mr. Aviator Life on the check-in. We appreciate you always checking in with us today. So I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, and I hope that we can make it a little bit better. So
remember once long ago when you were buying equipment to be the substitute DJ years ago? It's almost like this Duncan thing you said you were going to do. You know, just, I'm going to do it. Oh, yeah, when Breeze is out, I'll be able to do that. Oh, just give me about a year. Well, that was about 3 years ago. You probably got all kind of new equipment and everything. So, hey, shout out to the people, because if Mo was on his job, you would have got some Big E and Jay-Z. Oh, was it Big E? No, who was it? Big E and Shaq?
Big E and Shaq.
You would have got some Big E and Shaq every break for the entire show. Hey, lucky for us, it didn't work out. I'm trying to trend something too now. I put the hashtag where's @BreezeDBL. I don't even know. Yeah, he's so busy he didn't even tweet us or text us.
No, fair.
No, we call this AWOL in the business, right?
AWOL.
No call, no show, no show, no call. What do they call it?
Well, no show, baby.
I don't know.
All right, before we went to the break, we were getting into a little bit of Donald Trump. I was asking Rasul's thoughts about him taking the victory lap over the fact that they were able to get the Affordable Health Care Act, or whatever bill they want to call it, through Congress, and now it's on its way to the Senate. And I want to know your thoughts about him kind of beating his chest about the fact that he was able to do that, because it's his first major piece of legislation that he was able to pass without an executive order. Thoughts?
The American Health Care Act.
American Health Care Act, yeah. Yes.
You know, I think the desperate times call for the desperate measures. You know, he's been taking a lot of L's, but a lot of his stuff been getting shot down. So you got to put it. I think from a PR perspective, you got to put it out there that you actually achieved something that you tried to. That's one part of it.
But does that work? When everybody knows that it means nothing, does it work?
But we understand now, if we don't understand anything else from this election, like I told you last year, I said there could be some good out of that dude being president, because we will see how, people are. And that's an obvious thing to me. But clearly, it's not the case. You get that. You're going, yeah, we know this is just smoke and mirrors. But we knew a lot of his stuff on the campaign trail was just smoke and mirrors, and people just flat out believe it. So there's some people there might be some people out here celebrating. Now, if I'm on his team, I'm going, all right, this is me, I'm saying. This is the process. This is step one. We got step one. Now we're on phase one. Now we're on the phase two. So because they're not, if you were just having overwhelming victories all the time, then it is a step forward for them, no matter, even if it doesn't work at the end. You got the first component to the car, you tested it, it worked. You would celebrate, maybe, if you were building a car. Okay, we got the tires and they held the air. Great. Now me and you know this engine is never gonna work. Whatever y'all built it, we know this engine is not gonna work. But the engineers and the developers over there who get the first tire, they've been having a problem getting this tire to hold air. When they put this air in this tire, they come back in the morning, there's still air in the tire. They'll be excited. It's not a big deal for a dude who's built cars before, but for the guy who's building the car the first time, all right, I got this part. They may be dreaming. You'll be looking at this car saying, the way that engine's designed is never going to work, because you know better. But for the person who doesn't know better, is going to celebrate every small success.
It's sad. I haven't really watched a lot over the last week and a half. Last 10 days, I didn't really watch a lot of political stuff. I kind of stayed away. Actually, I didn't watch any sports really over the last 10 days as well. But what I do know is that I came back and Donald Trump was basically in the same space he was in before, politically. PR-wise, same space, still trouble, nothing but trouble.
Most interesting thing I heard over the time you were on, and this is somebody from more mainstream media. I've heard it from, well, that's not true because I did hear it from somebody else from mainstream media, but you kind of hear it from the Keith Olbermann of the world, questioning his mental status. And so finally, some people in mainstream media were literally questioning his mental status, like comparing videos from different periods of time and trying to assess his demeanor and his attitude and whatever. And it was interesting. Like I don't know if he's any more nutty now than he was before. He may be. I'm not a shrink, so I don't know. But there are people really questioning his capacity. So, I mean, early on, some people were talking about, I guess it's the 25th Amendment, trying to invoke the 25th Amendment, because if the president's not, I'm pretty sure it's the 25th Amendment, but if the president's doesn't have the mental capacity to be president, then the vice president could invoke this 25th Amendment or whatever. So some people were floating that out early, and it was just like, oh, nonsense, people hate him. Now there's a few factions who are questioning his mental capabilities right now. And that, I think, is one of the things that you can use to invoke the 25th Amendment. So I'm still on my account over here. I think I'm in the high 20s, but I'm still on these days because the Russian stuff is about to explode. It looks like every night there's something new. There's just more and more information coming out about more and more. And his entire clique. Like now, it's not just him and him. It's 50 people in the organization. 48 of them were accused of something. Like it just looks like complete collusion from the outside. We don't know. So I try to keep an open mind, but it looks like they're playing with fire, and somebody's trying to come and put it out. And a lot of that he brought on himself. Starting that war. You start the war with the media. Now somebody's just gonna zero in on you. I'm just gonna hate you, try to destroy you. And
win a war with the media.
What'd you say?
I don't think you can win a war with the media.
You can't. It's too many of them. There's too many of them. There's too many resources, and in your position, you gotta cross too many people. Not necessarily cross them, but you went and wiped out an entire office, told them they gotta go. So everything somebody else is gonna know. Period. Like in order for you to pull off a coup like that, you'd have had to walk in there and leave everybody in place to have a chance. Because the 3 or 4 people, even the Sally Yates lady, she's like, oh, yeah, I'm out. Okay, let me tell you what's really good.
Yeah.
We're waiting for her tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So I'm sure she's not going to hold anything back. You want to get rid of me because, by all accounts, she went to tell him something. That's what was going on with some of his people. He didn't want to hear it and said you out. Okay. So now what do you think she's holding back? What kind of dimes do you think the people are? Because it probably just wasn't her, so it had to be her and her staff. Not even anybody that, what kind of dimes are they trying? And if you ever work in any of those kind of situations, more people know than just one person. So there are other parts. Key members of the staff know stuff. And now you've crossed those things. So you're going to just be exposed. And it's there. So once you get to the point where it's subpoenaable, I'm making that word up, I think. But, the information will be there, and then we'll see what happens. He's going to ride until the wheels fall off, so I give him credit for that. He's not switching up his style at all. The walls are closing in. He's just going to take it straight to the face. I feel you, man. Hey, he's a man of his own principles, whatever they are. He's sticking to his guns, so let's stick to his guns.
Really, really quickly, the funny meme that I saw was a meme of Vice President Pence with his hands up saying, I thought I'd be president by now. It was a meme. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. All right, let's get into some sports. The NBA is in trouble. NBA is in trouble because this is the worst playoffs I've ever seen in my life. It's bad. It has a problem with the fact that there's 2 teams in the NBA. It's a problem. And we're specifically talking about this season. But it's a problem. Kevin Durant leaving Golden State and leaving Oklahoma City and going to Golden State basically left them with no rival because the Clippers do what the Clippers do every year, unfortunately. As much as I wanted to see them play Golden State, they were hurt and they were done. Therefore,
you never want to do that.
I absolutely listen. I am. They would have beaten Golden State 2 years ago. 2 years ago, the year the Golden State won, I thought the Clippers would have beaten them in the playoffs. But my bigger point is that there's no one to challenge Golden State. Houston will get 1, maybe 2 games.
Not according to me going out on the ledge, they won't.
Yeah, you way out on the ledge on that. Then on the other side, Cleveland probably won't lose 1 game. If they do, it'll be 1 game to Washington. I don't see Boston beating Toronto's getting. I mean, they once you start hearing players start talking about there's nobody to guard him, I'll give you $100 if you can guard him, or somebody saying that he basically called him a monster. Kyle Lowry was giving superlatives to LeBron James. You don't do that in the midst of playoff series.
Right, let's stay on that for a second, right? Because I tried to ride with DeRozan as far as I could. I tried to ride. I mean, listen,
he's a good NBA player.
Okay, right, and I'm not saying. I think he's an A- guy. B plus A- guy.
He's a B.
I mean, it's hard to get him. It's hard to get 27 again.
He's a 2.
Okay, but whatever, right? When you come out and say that, though, you're clearly not a leader. Because now you tell the other dudes on your squad, like, I don't have a chance. First off, I'm not going to admit that. I don't even know if I could admit that to you after my career, though. Maybe I could at the end be like, yo, bro, we just ain't had no answers for you. I'm not going to tell you that while I'm playing, unless this is some major, like DJ Khaled major reverse psychology kind of thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm going to be like, I'm going to try to get him to relax. Right? He's too savvy for that.
He's already relaxed. He's spinning the ball in front of your face, getting ready to shoot a 3. Half faking like he's drinking a beer, so that can't be it.
Dudes are throwing alley-oops off the backboard. At least the rules in this last game. So I said, oh my God, you got to show me some pride. Like, show me some pride. That's what I want to see. And let me tell you something about Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry, you already on a hot seat. You need to come out there like Willis Reed for 2 minutes. If your ankle hurt so bad and then you couldn't go, forget it. Because this whole, I'm listening to him on the, and another thing I'll talk to you about if you define it. Because I'm trying to listen to local radio, and I'm going to tell you why that's out the door. But I'm listening to local radio, and they're talking about Kyle Lowry says he's doubtful for today.
Correct. I saw that.
Word, Kyle, you're not in there talking about I'm giving it my all. Y'all don't think I'm playing today. The Olympics came at home. Y'all don't think I'm playing. Come on, bro. I don't want to play with you. I don't want to play with him. I'm saying it not, some people take this. I'm not saying go to war. Like, I understand that we got tense times now, but I'm not getting in the basketball trenches with this. I'm talking about some.
Listen, again, you heard his leading scorer say, I'll give you $100 if you can guard him. Why, if you Kyle Lowry, you down 3-0, why are you going to put yourself in harm's way? It's over. It's over, bro. It's over. It's over.
I'm not giving Kyle a pass, but
I'm hoping pass on it.
I'm hoping what he said, I'm hoping what he meant was, stop asking me why I can't stop him because y'all can't stop him either.
You mean DeRozan?
DeRozan, that's what I mean. I'm hoping that's what that intention was.
I'm not giving
him a pass either, but I'm saying, I'm hoping that's what that intention was. That's got to be what the intention was. He's got to be saying, well, you know what? When they ask you, what are you going to do about LeBron? We don't get to hear the whole interview, so I'm sure 18 of them asked him about it. And hopefully it was the 18th time where he was just mad and said, and then they pulled a little quote out for us. Yeah. So we look at it and go, oh my God, this dude just, because they got it like he just came out and started the interview off with that. So hopefully somebody asked him something. He got ticked off and gave an answer he shouldn't have gave. That's what I'm hoping. And you hear these things and you can't get the entire context because they're editing editing it down. So I hope, man.
Listen, that's fair. I'm giving Kyle Lowry a pass.
See, he gets no pass from me.
I'm giving him a pass because it's pointless. He knows it's over. Dwayne Casey, the coach, knows it's over. Serge Ibaka knows it's over. PJ Tucker knows it's over. They all know it's over. There's no point in him coming out there and putting any undue stress and tearing a ligament in his ankle. There's no point. It's done.
It's
done.
They shouldn't even show up at that.
They won't. They'll be there physically, but they're not gonna listen. By the time the end of the end of the second quarter is over, with about 4 or 5 minutes left, that game is done. Night. Unless Cleveland does not come to put their foot on their throat, it's the only way that will even still be a game. But if they come right from the beginning and put their foot on their throat, it's done. By 4 minutes left to go in the second quarter, it's over. It's lights out. LeBron and Kyrie gonna have a long second half sitting on the bench. Whole fourth quarter, it's gonna be over. It's done. So there's no point in him playing. No point.
Kevin Love can't sit over there with them.
I mean, he's the third fiddle. I don't talk about third fiddle guys. He's the third fiddle. I don't talk about third fiddle guys.
Okay.
He's the guy that needs them to be able to create for him. And I'm going to get on your boy Klay Thompson today, so go on and get ready for it. But he's a third fiddle guy, and he's going to listen, he might have to play in the fourth quarter stuff. I don't know. He might need the minutes. He might need the work. I don't know.
He might. Mo, you're being extremely disrespectful right now. He might need the work.
He might need the work, bro. He might need it for his confidence.
He might need the work.
He might need it for his confidence.
So Tristan gonna be over there sitting down watching K Love out.
Tristan should sit before him. Tristan should sit before him.
And you came back on fire. You came back on fire.
Should sit before him. Are we going to take a break or are we keeping going?
You got about a minute and a half. We can take a nap? Or we can...
No, I can get one more thing in about Toronto. Toronto needs to break up this team. Kyle Lowry is free agent at the end of this season. I didn't realize that, but apparently he is. You do not resign him. I'm sorry.
You can't. You can't.
But they want to, though, right? They have to. But you don't. But you have to, though. Because what are you getting, right? You're not getting another point guard, even of his quality. Unless you're getting Chris Paul to come over there, which is probably not going to happen. What are you getting?
I mean, but again, so we discussed this last time we were on the radio about the Clippers. That's the conundrum. Will you get? You get rid of Chris Paul? What you get?
Well, the Clippers, I'm being a little bit different because I blow the whole Clippers team up, the whole team. You can't blow up DeMar DeRozan because he just signed. He's there. The Clippers have an opportunity to lose Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. I just blow it all up and start from scratch. But that's
people talked about moving DeAndre Jordan. So if you move DeAndre Jordan because he just signed.
Yeah. He's the third guy again. Who cares? He can play with bad players. I don't care if he plays with bad players or not.
Can we move DeRozan?
I mean, I'm sure somebody would take him.
Somebody takes DeRozan, so you could blow it up. That's all I'm saying. Somebody takes DeRozan.
Here's the difference. For DeRozan, you're going to be expecting some good players back. You're not really blowing it up. You're going to be expecting good players back. You're not just giving him away for nothing.
I give away Blake. I expect some good players back.
But I think Blake is free, no?
No. He's got he's got the opt-in. He can opt out.
Right. Well, hopefully he does and move on about his business. It's time. But Toronto, listen, you got to sign Lowry back, unfortunately. I don't sign Serge Ibaka's free. I don't sign him back. I think that's just a waste of money because I don't think he fits there.
All right, let's take a break, and then let's talk about what we would do with Toronto. And then I know you want to get on Klay. And I woke up literally I took like a 20-minute nap at 8:40, literally. And I woke up and I was like, he's going to be in my ear about Klay Thompson. Somehow I knew it. It was like Lucky Charms. It was magically delicious. I knew that you were going to be on it. So we'll be back in 3 minutes. We'll knock that out the box. Right back.
42 minutes after our back to the Full Disclosure Show. We thank you guys for checking in with us today as we try to go through the world of sports and give you some of our insight and highlights and thought processes. Before we went to the break, we were talking about the NBA playoffs. We were talking about Toronto. I was saying that it needs to be blown up to a certain degree because I wouldn't re-sign Kyle Lowry back. That's just me, but you kind of have to re-sign him back. Unfortunately, they're in a conundrum when it comes to that. So, yes, you sign him back. I don't sign Serge Ibaka, definitely not. You try to figure something else out. But in my opinion, they need a shooter, and they need a active big guy that is solid. I think is what they're missing on that team. Because they don't have anybody to stretch the floor. Nobody.
Right, and I think that's what they're missing in shooting, right? So, as much as I hate Kyle Lowry's game, and I only hate his game because it's so up. Like, you just can't depend on it. Even some guys, I'm an efficiency guy, but some guys you could depend on the 20, whether it's a good 20 or a bad 20. You kind of depend on, I know I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm getting 20 out of this guy. And we don't have these absolute disappearing acts that he has regularly. Sometimes you do. So we had Isaiah Thomas have 13 points. Nobody would have guessed that, right? We're thinking that he's 18, 19 every night, and normally in this situation, he's somewhere around 30. Right? But, to see 11 or 13 from him is kind of odd. But, it seems like the two of these guys can't get off on the same night. So, you got one guy gets 30, the other guy gets 8. You know what I'm saying? Or the other guy gets 29, the other guy gets 11. I can't ever get a 35, 28. And I'm sure it's happened, but it doesn't, especially in the playoffs, it always seems like it's either one or the other. They both can't get in the groove together. But I was thinking about what they needed to, and I kind of like Ibaka over there for what it is.
Do you?
Yeah, for what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. For what that is, I'm fine with that. And even from a matchup perspective, if I'm looking at building a team to try to match up with Cleveland, I'm not mad with I can't say his name, the center.
Yeah,
Jonas and
Valanciunas,
right? And so that 5-4 matchup between Cleveland and them, to me, it's a pickle. I give it to Cleveland because Kevin Love's better than all, but he's better than Serge Ibaka. Yeah. So I'm not acting like he's great, but he's better than him. But then when you obviously lose the 3, you get smoked on the 1, and I guess DeRozan wins the 2, but he might not win it every night. Depending on what kind of day it is for him, he might not win it every night. So, he's better than J.R. Smith. I just think they need some shooters. I don't know if they're ever going to have a squad to be able to beat these dudes, but that's the same situation that everybody has. At this point, you're trying to be competitive.
Correct. And that goes back to my initial premise that the NBA is in trouble because they didn't have anybody even challenge these guys on the East or the West. You decide. There's just nobody to challenge either team, really. But Toronto, listen, I don't sign Serge Ibaka back because I don't think he brings anything to him. He's a jump shooter. It's what he is now. He's not the same defender he was 5 years ago in OKC or 4 years ago in OKC. So I don't know what he really brings.
Yeah, but if you look at it, he's probably the guy who stretches the court the best for them. At the end of the day, he's probably the only guy. Kyle Lowry jacking up threes, but he's probably the guy who's playing the stretch floor.
I think they need some nastiness. I think they need a really tough player inside. Is what I think they need.
Who do you put over there?
Oof. Who do you put over there? Let me get back to you now. Let me think about that. Let me think about the type of player. But they're done. So we're wasting a lot of energy on them today, but they're done. But I'm going to think of a player before we get off this air, and I'll definitely let you know who I can put over there. I'm going to go to the West for a second and talk about Golden State because I had to sit and watch Golden State play Utah yesterday. I didn't watch the first 2 games at all, so I watched the entire game yesterday. And what a waste of my time.
What were you an active tweeter last night too?
Yeah. Whatever it was that I was doing in game 1 and game 2, I should have been doing last night in game 3 and not paying attention because it was bad. Utah tried. I mean, they did. They put up a fight, and actually they took the game over and went up 9 at one point. So they tried. So I got to give them credit. They did fight back. But they had too many empty possessions. They don't have a go-to guy. As much as everyone wants Gordon Hayward to be that guy, he's a 2, maybe a 3 on a team.
He's not a 3.
He's a 2, maybe even a 3 on a team.
Depends on what team he's on, but most teams he's at worst a 2.
He, you know what? He'd be a good fit in Toronto over there. 3 of them together. They figure it out some kind of way. But anyway, that's just me being funny. But here's what I wanted to get to. I wanted to get to Golden State for a second. Because there's 2 people I need to talk about on Golden State. 3 people I need to talk about on Golden State. I'm going to start with Klay Thompson.
Let's try this. Who don't you need to talk about on Golden State?
I don't need to talk about Steph Curry. Steph is Steph. I don't need to talk about Steph. I got a couple words for Kevin Durant too. So I'm going to start with Klay Thompson. I'm not knocking Klay Thompson's playoff performance thus far because he hasn't played that well. You know, it's whatever. People go in slumps, and I'm not necessarily knocking him for that. Here's what I'm knocking him for, and it's probably not his fault. I'm knocking him for the fact that he gets treated like he's a star in this league. He gets all-star appearances over guys who are ones, who we've talked about, which just it bothers me. But yet,
makes your skin crawl.
It does. But yet, he has 0 pressure on him. Meaning, it doesn't matter what he does, right? Because he has 2 other guys over there that are MVPs of the league that whether he's having a good day or a bad day, it doesn't matter. That machine continues to roll on. And he still continues to get the praise that he gets because he's going to have games where he's going to shoot the ball extremely well. He's an incredible shooter. He is what he is. So, and he's going to get great looks because he has these other 2 guys over there that are going to get him those great looks because you have to worry about those 2 guys too. So it's not his fault per se that he gets the accolades that he gets, but he gets accolades that he doesn't necessarily deserve, in my opinion. And when that's the case, you can't be 1 for 9. You got to show up every night. I'm sorry. But again, he has no pressure, so nobody cares. Nobody's going to ever talk about it. Nobody's not going to say a word. Oh, Klay Thompson. Doesn't mean a thing.
Now let's slow down. So, somebody else gives him accolades, and you are mad at him for getting the accolades from somebody else. So now you hold him in a different light. What
Clearly stated, it's not his fault. Clearly stated, it's not his fault.
Okay, so why are you mad at him?
He got to wear it, though.
Why am I wearing this over here? Boy, he needs to just come out here and say, I'm a regular guy.
No.
And then be happy. I'm just a regular. I'm Lowry. I'm Kyle Lowry.
No, he needs to perform. Him taking 9 shots in a game that was relatively close all the way through is something wrong with that, in my opinion. Why did he only get 9 shots? He takes 17 a night. Is on average is what he takes. 17 a night. How did he only get 9 shots and be 1 for 9?
Did he go Marcus Smart out there last night and just say, I ain't got it tonight? He just go out here and play D, I don't got it. I don't know. I can't explain why he took. I'm not trying to defend him. And I can't explain why he took 9 shots. The thing that I would say is, where it's a little, and I'll bring a football reference in. We always question, there's a time when we question so-called great players' abilities because of the system and the people they play with, right? So at some point there's a question about, some people had a question about Joe Montana because he played with Jerry Rice. Some people had a question about Jerry Rice as he played with Joe Montana. Whoever you thought was the better player, like, oh my God, if such and such played with a great quarterback, what kind of numbers would he have? That's the conversation that everybody has, right? But then when they get to go in a different situation where they didn't get to play together, so Rice went to another Super Bowl with Oakland and lost, and Jerry took the old Kansas City Chiefs to the AFC Championship. So for me, I got to see him separated in that conversation. So the Kevin Durant insertion, to me, I saw 5 years of Klay Thompson with just Steph Curry. Right? So
they're exactly the same.
Huh?
His regular season numbers this season and last season are exactly the same. If you go look at them, they are exactly the same.
Okay, so I'm saying, like, so when I took his numbers when he was clearly the two guy over there, and he was putting up the numbers he put up and had the performances he had, that's what I'm judging him on. So, like, I understand the argument of, oh my God, he's going to get all these great looks because he's playing with these two guys. But he was doing what he was doing with these two guys or without these two guys. Well, I don't know without Steph. I never saw him play without Steph. So, I mean, except in small stretches when Steph returned. So I already knew what Klay was. There's no judgment on Klay because Durant's here now, because I saw Klay by himself. Now, if Klay was just putting these numbers up with Durant, then I'd be saying, well, man, I wonder if Klay could go out there and get these numbers if one of the Durant or Curry weren't on the team. But we clearly know the answer to that because we saw the movie already. So for me, I already saw it. He played with Steph. He put these same numbers up. This is who he is. Now, if these numbers or his play doesn't warrant the praise that you think he gets, that's fine. I don't need the Kevin Durant part of the argument because this year, I saw Klay do exactly what you just said. He was doing the exact same thing with or without this guy. So Kevin Durant over here doesn't matter for Klay to get what he got. Now, if you don't think Klay was getting enough to get the accolades that he gets, that's another conversation.
No, that's what I said, though. That's what I said with.
Yeah, but I don't need to hear all I'm saying is I don't need to hear because Kevin Durant's over here, he's getting every shot that he wants to get. If Steph,
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
But you said he's getting any shot he wants because he's got these guys. The only guy he had before this year was Steph Curry.
What I said was he's getting the shots that he needs to get, the same amount of shots, and the shots are going to be easier because he has these other two guys there. It doesn't matter. Like, he's still getting the same amount of shots. He took 17 shots last year, took 17 shots this year. The shooting percentage is a little bit low. Nothing to even quarrel about. They're basically exactly the same because I looked at his numbers. They're exactly the same. They're exactly the same. So I don't care whether Kevin Durant's there or not, but it helps. It makes his life easier to have them there is what my point was, as opposed to a Dame Lillard who has nobody that he can sit because he's the one. Dame is the one, and he still gets his numbers every night, and he doesn't get any accolades for it. This guy gets all the accolades, and he has no pressure. None. Doesn't matter what he does because he has these other two guys there that are going to close the gap, and that team is going to keep winning. So there's never any pressure.
But the point that okay, so just remember exactly what you said in the last 30 seconds. Let's erase this year. Then there was some pressure on him before Durant. You can't say there was pressure on him before. So yeah, there might not be any pressure on him this year. So if you're just talking about specifically this year, that's fine.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, then that's fine. You're just talking about well, that's fine. If he put up the same numbers he put up before, he's doing what his life could be easier, but he's doing the exact same thing. So this is just who he is. And if you don't like who he is, that's fine.
That's fine. Listen, again, it's not him. It's the accolades that he gets around him. It's what bothers me. So he got to take the weight for it. Sorry. In my opinion, he got to wear it. It just bothers me because I know Klay Thompson. Damian Lillard is sitting around saying, "You gotta be kidding me! What else do I need to do? I carry my team. Me and my man over here, we carry our team. I'm the focal. If this team does not move, they coming to me saying, "Yo, why is this team not moving?" He's the third guy before they get to it, and depending if Draymond Green decides to insert himself in the conversation, he might be the fourth guy they call before they get to him. He might be the fourth one, depending upon if Draymond want to run his mouth.
I don't want to go too deep in this conversation because I understand that we value other things differently.
Yeah, listen, y'all can try to tell me about these great defenders that these guys are, but there's nothing tangible. These guys, everybody they guard get the same numbers they get every night. It doesn't stop. All they can do is, because the reality is this. When these guys play against other great players, all they can do is make the game harder for them and hope that they miss shots. Because nobody's stopping LeBron, nobody's stopping Dame Lillard, nobody's stopping Steph Curry. It's these guys, whether they make or miss shots. That's all they're doing. So this whole, oh my God, he's such a great defender nonsense, they make the game tougher for him. That's it.
could tell a dude. Can you tell a guy who expends more energy on one side of the ball than the other? Can you see that?
I think Thompson is one of those guys who spends more energy on defense. I don't see anything from him that says to me that, oh my God, he's spending so much great energy on defense.
Okay, that's the most ridiculous thing you said today. Because at the end of it, when we want to knock Steph Curry, we talk about he don't go stick nobody. When Cleveland plays Golden State, Klay Thompson would be trying to run around and check Kyrie all day, right? Wow, Steph.
Whoa. Because that's what his coach told him to do. Steph Curry gets knocked because he's not saying, no, I'm going to guard him. That's why he gets knocked.
That's fine, but that's the minutia. Whatever. What I'm trying to tell you is it's happening. Whatever reason, it's happening. So now Steph got to go around and chase the great Kyrie Irving all day, and then he goes over and gets 20, and you go, he got no pressure, nothing to do. Only thing I ask is, if I just sat you over there and said, just go out here and give me buckets. That's all you got to do. Just go give me buckets.
He does.
Okay. Then you dismiss the defensive side of the ball. That's all.
I'm not dismissing it. I'm just telling you, you're not stopping any of these guys, is what my point is. You're not stopping any of them.
The result, Mike, I'm not arguing the result. I'm arguing the effort. And I think that the effort will impact your offensive game, because that's what you care about, the offensive game.
Well, let me ask you this question. In these first 2 rounds, who has Klay Thompson been running around chasing?
I'm not making any excuses for his play in these first 2 rounds. But you also said I'm not going to hold it against him as a slump. So I'm talking about the entirety of the season. During the season, he sticks the best guard or wing player normally. During the season, I'm not talking about this because you said you weren't talking about these series specifically.
So then back to my point, Dame Lillard is sitting around saying, what else do I need to do? Because you know what? He's guarding Steph Curry. He's chasing Steph Curry around. He ain't got somebody else running around chasing Steph Curry. He's chasing Kyrie Irving around when he sees him every night. He's chasing him. So he may not be as great a defender as Klay Thompson. I'm not saying that he is, but he's still spending energy trying to chase him and still carrying his team on the other end of the court too.
We'll just disagree, because if you even think that it's close to the amount of energy and intensity that they use, if you think that all players are doing the same thing, I have nothing else to say. If you think Damian Lillard on the defensive end is doing what Klay Thompson does on the defensive end,
it's not what I said to you. I clearly stated that Klay is a better defender than him. I clearly stated that. However, let's not make it seem like Dame Lillard's not chasing Steph Curry around and trying to play defense on him. Let's not make it seem like he's just out there like, yeah, shoot your shot, Steph. Let's not make it seem like he's not running through picks to try to get behind him to make sure he doesn't get those wide open looks. He is doing it. He just may not be as good at it as Klay Thompson is, but he is doing it.
I can't articulate this to you, because if you think they expended the same amount of energy on the defensive end, is that what you're telling me?
It's a lot closer than what you think it is.
Okay, all right.
And I know on the other end that Dame Lillard still is spending more energy on the offensive end because he's got to get his own shot and get it for everybody else. But Klay Thompson standing in the corner saying, I'm open, and let me get this jump off.
That's this year. That's what I'm saying. That's this year.
Same thing it was last year. They ran him through 1,000 picks. He wasn't out there just getting his own shot and getting shots for everybody else. That's who he is. He's Reggie Miller Part 2. He's Reggie Miller 2.0.
Are you holding it against him that he's playing smarter instead of harder? Anyway, we'll never get to a consensus. We've blown through a break, so let's take this break now. And then after we come back from the break, I'm going to try to read this text message from the AWOL Breeze DBL that I just got. I think you got it too, Mo. So we'll be back in 3 minutes.
Three minutes after that, back to the Full Disclosure Show. As you guys can see, we have no Breeze DBL, so there will not be a fully disclosed mix today, but it should be back up and running next week. So before you went to the break, Sewell, you said that you wanted to read a text message?
No Breeze DBL on the check here, an hour late. It sounds like somebody overslept, right? Let's just play employer. What does this sound like, right? So I'm going to paint the whole scenario. We're usually ready to go by about 9:45. Pre-production here is real short. It's not, but that's for authenticity. I'm going to be sitting around talking about what we're going to talk about all day. So from Breeze, what up, fellas? Real sorry for being unavailable. Helping my niece paint her house, and my phone got lost in the clutter. Battery went, so I had no idea where it was. Just found it, but I still have an issue with my iPad that I had to get replaced Friday. Another story in itself. So let me translate to you guys exactly what this is. My dog ate my homework. That's all right though, Breeze. It's all good. We still love you over here.
Absolutely.
That was big. Let's get, look. My phone got lost in the clutter. Battery.
You're good, right?
Battery went, so I had no idea where it was. Just found it, but I still have an issue with my iPad that I had to get replaced on Friday. Okay, that was good. Maybe he was using the outer right there.
Lost in the clutter, huh?
Shout out to Breeze DBL.
Definitely shouts to my man, DBL. All right, so I want to keep talking about Golden State. I need to talk about this clown.
Your translation was a little better than mine. I'll keep that quiet. A little better than mine.
Yeah, that's an inside joke, folks. So not to be fully disclosed on that.
Well, you got to be fully disclosed for that one, absolutely.
All right, Draymond Green. Listen, I sent out a couple tweets last night because this guy is just... I'm taking the gloves off on him. And I'm taking the gloves off because I'm just over it. I'm so over the attention and the media that he gets and the fact that he runs his mouth. So last night, he's out there basically acting like a 2-year-old about fouls and all this other nonsense. It just irks me to watch him. And then prior to that, earlier in the week or late last week, there was a question about him and Barkley, which whomever it was who asked that question about if he felt his game was like Charles Barkley game, whomever that reporter was needs to be fired. The fact that, and I clearly stated fired, the fact that they would ask Draymond Green whether or not he felt his game was somewhat like Barkley's. And then for Draymond Green to stop what?
The reporter didn't say he thought his game was like Barkley. The reporter asked him, are you basically saying you out of your mind to think that your game's like Barkley? Why is firing him for that?
Wait. He asked, from what I saw, he asked Draymond Green if he felt his game was like Charles Barkley's game. Draymond didn't bring up Charles Barkley first.
No. Okay, but he didn't say, the reporter said your game is like Barkley, I'd be like, fire. What do you think? He's just trying to figure out what he thinks.
The fact that he asked the question, he needs to be fired. He needs to be fired. Because that reporter didn't watch Charles Barkley. Clearly he did not. That reporter did not watch Charles Barkley. He couldn't have. Because there's zero outside. And you know what? Outside of their height, and Draymond Green's still 3 inches taller than he is, so there's zero about their game that is similar. Zero. And for Draymond Green to quickly state, like, no, I'm the modern day Draymond Green, like, he's some kind of play. Really? And I know Draymond Green was born in 1990 because I did my research on that too. So he didn't see Charles Barkley when he was the round mound rebound in Philadelphia. He didn't see that. He probably saw Charles Barkley when he was able to remember when Charles Barkley was probably in Phoenix or Houston, probably at that point, at the very end of his career. So he didn't see what Chuck brought to the NBA. But you got to be kidding me, because when I sit here and I look at these numbers, the fact that this reporter asked the question, which tells me the reporter's 25 himself, But the fact that the reporter asked this question, and I look at these numbers, here's Draymond Green's career numbers, 9.7 rebounds and 4 assists. Here's Charles Barkley's career numbers, 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists. You got to be kidding me. And for this guy to be flippant in his response, I'm done. Done with Draymond Green. Done. I'm done. And I can't wait for them to ship him to Sacramento. And he's finished. He's finished. He's going to be Bo Outlaw is who he's going to be. He's Bo Outlaw is who he is when he goes to Sacramento.
You had to take a sip of water after that, huh?
Dude, I'm so aggravated with this dude. So aggravated.
Clearly.
And for him to be on all-star teams, listen, stop. Can we please stop it? And with Charles Barkley, I got to give him credit because he said he never takes anything personal. So they asked him about this conversation. And he basically said, listen, he's a nice player. He's probably a better shooter than me. And I'm going to argue with Charles Barkley on that. And not that Charles Barkley was a great shooter, but Charles Barkley wasn't getting wide open jump shots because people were guarding him. This guy gets wide open jump shots because they don't guard him because they got 4 other guys they got to worry about on the court. 3 other guys they got to worry about shooting threes. So they allow Draymond Green to stand out there by himself. So I'm going to argue with Charles Barkley even on whether he's a better shooter. But other than that, listen, he basically would not trash Draymond Green. But we all sat, well, I don't know if you guys watched, but on Inside the NBA, Shaquille O'Neal, and I forgot who was up there because Kenny Smith wasn't there at that point. Maybe he was. I don't remember his mother passed, but Ernie Johnson, they all basically laughed because they all know what it is. They all understand what the situation is. And we need to stop celebrating mediocrity. And that's what this is. We're celebrating mediocrity when we talk about Draymond Green.
Tell him how you feel, son. It's not
bad. I'm so over it.
Clearly. I'd be outraged if he answered the question, I'm better than him, or yeah, I can see where you got that from, or whatever. He said he, him. If he said I'm the modern day me, I'm me. So I mean, I can't be mad at, I'm not, you said it just, come on, you said it yourself. Draymond Green didn't say anything. This guy asked him a question. What was he supposed to say? What answer would Draymond Green have gave that would have been acceptable for you?
Here's the right way he should have answered that question. You know what? I did not get a chance to really watch Charles Barkley play in his career. By all accounts, he's a great player. He's obviously an NBA Hall of Famer. I don't know if our games are anything similar or not. From what I've seen, I can't really tell. That's how you answer that question and move on with your life. Because it was a gotcha question, was what the question was. And he fell for the trap. And I know that they're giving him media training. And maybe he just doesn't care because he's looking for controversy. But be good at it. Be good at your craft if you're going to be looking for controversy. And he's a mediocre guy who's getting a lot of attention right now. Listen, you know what? This guy ain't even as good as Anthony Mason. Anthony Mason, he's not even as good as Anthony Mason was. I'm sorry, it's not.
So your answer, so his answer just saying I'm the modern day me wasn't good.
I would have said it.
I thought that's what you said he said.
Quickly stated, no, I'm the and said it flippantly like, why you compare me to this clown? That's the way the comment came off.
That's how you know. That's how you took it.
That's how he said it.
I didn't
go back and look at it. That's how he said it. He was very quick in his response. Like, you gotta be kidding me if you ask me that question.
Well, if that was his intention, then I'm with you. But I don't know how to judge intent. So.
Why are you giving this guy a pass? Please come on my side of the world. On my side of the world. Listen,
I'm not the biggest. I mean, Draymond is who he is. I don't think he's a great player by any stretch of the imagination. I'm with you. I mean, I think that he's in the absolute right system. And if he went somewhere else, I don't think that he would have success. I'm with you on that. He's a cocky, confident, attention monger kind of guy. So that's who he is. I mean, it's not my cup of tea. I don't know. I mean, maybe when you you keep talking about what you didn't, but you keep talking about Draymond Green, and then when the eighth guy over there, Klay Thompson, go 1 for 9, maybe nobody else talking about him because they're talking about Draymond, and Draymond say, "Hey, I can take this. I don't want to mess with my shooters out there. Maybe they fragile." Nobody gonna talk about Steph didn't have a great game. Nobody talking about that. Hey, maybe we just talk about Draymond all day and his technical fouls. Maybe there's some psychology behind it. I have no idea. He's not my cup of tea. I'll put that out there right now. Hopefully he's smart. He seems like a halfway smart dude. So maybe he's smart enough to say, I'll take all this beat. Everybody. So all my other dudes can go carry us to another chip. Maybe he's saying that.
This is the last time I'm talking about Draymond Green shit.
No, it's not.
Let me say it this way.
No, it's not.
I'm going to report the news on Draymond Green, and I'm not going to give any personal feelings about Draymond Green the rest of this year.
Hey, I just had an argument with somebody, so I had to look up the definition of a journalist. And a journalist is one who reports or broadcasts the news. That there will make you a journalist. So add that to your resume.
Well, I'm going to give my opinions on other people, but I'm just not, because I can't give this guy anymore. I can't give him any more light, man. I can't. Not giving him any more light. Not gonna have my blood pressure go up, my heart race, because I'm thinking about this clown. He's a clown. That's my personal, and that's the last one.
But you're working out, so elevated heart rate's not bad.
Yeah, well, I am of age, so I gotta be careful. He is young enough to be my son.
Son. I feel you.
All right, let's talk about these other two series. I mean, the NBA is so bad. I hate watching the Spurs Houston Rockets. I watched probably half of that while I was away. Half of a game. It's just awful. It's just awful.
Let me just, and I was talking with somebody else about this probably last week, and I know that we spoke about it before. I don't remember your response. You enjoyed watching the Knicks of the 90s.
Yes.
But you can't watch the Spurs?
No, I cannot.
This Spurs team is way more exciting to watch than those Knicks teams were.
They are?
It's not even close. It's not even a conversation. If I watch the Knicks team today, you will see how horrible the Knicks are.
Let me say it this way. I enjoy watching the Knicks of the 90s against the Bulls. Let me say it that way.
Okay. All right, then. Fine.
Let me say it that way. But I can't sit here and watch Patty Mills and boring-ass Kawhi Leonard and that other bum over there who's sitting in the corner quietly as much as he can, but he's taking a little bit of heat now in LaMarcus Aldridge, that other guy over there who went from 25 a night to 17. Somebody make me understand. I don't get it, but I can't. And then on the other side of the court, I got to watch, what's this lefty guy with the beard? James Harden. Just throw himself and his arms into people consistently and get foul calls. I can't watch it. I can't. That series irks me more than any series. It's bad. It's bad watching. I can't wait for that series to be over. And truthfully, I want Houston to move on because I want to see Houston against Golden State because I think they can win 1 or 2 games. I don't think San Antonio can win any games against Golden State. 0. That's how bad they are. And I hope that at some point we're going to stop with this whole San Antonio and the dynasty nonsense with them. Or people don't really call it dynasty, but they always talk about how great the Spurs. Yeah, you know what? They're great in the regular season. I said this last season. And you know what? They're probably going home in the second round again this year. Bye-bye. Same thing again. And you know what? They'll go back and win 55, 60 games next year. It will be the same level. And you know what? They're going to go home again. It's the same thing, same cycle over and over. It's over. It's over. It's over.
I think it's over for the Spurs, too. They might be able to win this series, though. They might be able to. And then at the end of the day, right, so you talk about how terrible the NBA is. So at the end of the day, if they make it to the Western Conference Final, they did all they could have ever done anyway. So I can't go with oh my God, it's over. If you make it to this point, we agree that they're 2 super teams. We agree that we believe that we're not even thinking about how if Golden State's gonna be playing Cleveland. The real bet is how many games will they lose before they get to the finals. This is not a conference. Nobody's gonna take the bet that they're not gonna make it there, barring some catastrophic injury. Nobody's gonna take the bet that they're not gonna make it there. But so if a team gets to the conference finals, They did all they could do. Do you still hold that against them?
As far as the accomplishment.
The West is better than the East, right?
Is it? Same difference to me.
Fine. Then San Antonio makes it to the Western Conference Finals. You give them nothing for that?
No. Because they beat the Houston team, and who else did they beat? Memphis. They beat a guy who had, was it Memphis they played? Yeah, they beat a guy who had a 40-year-old starting small forward. Come on, man. Come on, man. Listen, make me understand. It's off the watch.
All right, let's take a break. Then I got a question for you. I'm getting some text messages. And I got the same one you got, and I got that same text message from somebody else. So you can prepare yourself for that question. We'll be back here.
Twenty-two minutes after our back to the full disclosure show. Again, there will be no Breeze DBL fully disclosed mix today, but he will be back better than ever next week. So please check in from 12 to 1 next week.
Billy, don't speak too soon.
Oh,
did you confirm that?
I did not confirm it, but my bad. Maybe this will be. We'll let you know as the show goes on. We still got 37 minutes left in the show, so
don't get the people's hopes all up.
So before we went to the break, I was telling you how bad watching the Houston San Antonio series is, and Breeze sent us a text, and in the text, because I had stated earlier in my dialogue that I hate watching San Antonio, and he said watching Kawhi Leonard is boring. And Breeze, to answer your question, yes, it is absolutely boring. and I'm not taking anything away from the guy's talent because he's a really, 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 really good player. He probably will end up being a Hall of Fame at the end of his career. I'm not taking anything away from his talent. But watching him is like watching paint dry, bro. He has no flair. There's no nothing. I need something. It's entertainment. It's basketball. It's the NBA. Show me some emotion. Show me just something. So, yes, I'm not taking away from his talent, but give me something else. Every other star player or superstar player in the NBA gives you something. Something to draw your attention to him. He gives me nothing. He's very vanilla, and I can't stand. I don't like vanilla ice cream street. I need something else with it. Sorry. So, yes, it's boring. And watching James Harden is just awful. It's hard. So he's not boring. It's just hard to watch.
I don't know, man. You. But you know what? You are consistent because that answer kind of surmises your personality. That kind of spills out into all aspects of life. I get it. Listen, I like the productivity. I don't know what a boring game is. I mean, because
turn on Kawhi, you'll see it right there.
I mean, I watched last game, watched him dunk on a couple of people. That's what you like. That was boring, I guess.
Did he give you any kind of emotion after? Or did he start to run up down the court?
You want him to do a jig? What do you want him to do?
Something.
You want him to pull an arrow out from behind his back and shoot. Yeah, that's what you need. That's what you need.
If you want of these, something.
Oh, you got me.
Something. Show me that you got some passion behind you. Something.
Oh, you got to be kidding me right now. Because now when these dudes, so where's your line at, right? Because you be the same dude that when these guys going out there wilding, they all over the top. Why they got to go out here and do all this nonsense? But Randy Moss pull his drawers down. You like that? That works for you?
Yeah, remember that. But
when he was in Minnesota against Green Bay, and he leaned against the pole and act like he was pulling his pants down. Like, you like that?
Did he pull it down or no?
No, he didn't. But
I didn't have a problem with that. But here's my point. I need something.
You got me out here sounding like Kirk Cousins. You like that?
Dude, I need it's entertainment, man. The NBA is entertainment. They sell entertainment. And watching Kawhi Leonard, bro, it ain't entertainment. And nobody's knocking his skill one way or another.
To be honest with you, though, right? There's very little sauciness from your boy Kyrie. You don't return it.
His game.
Okay. No. You want the celebration.
His game is the sauciness.
Wait, you want
I kicked the bag.
You want the celebration. So there you go. I'll leave the celebration from Kyrie. Okay. All right.
Something. But Kyrie's play when he got people on skates, there it is. He's straight and one back. There it is. There it is right there. It's boring to watch. I'm not watching this Houston-San Antonio series closely. I'm going to watch it in there.
All right, let me just go back to what we were talking about in the last block. So when you were watching the Knicks, what excitement were you getting from the Knicks side of the ball?
I wasn't. I was getting my excitement from MJ when they was beating him up. He was still doing everything that he needed to do to make sure they won. Listen, as I said to you, I'll watch Golden State and San Antonio because there's going to be some excitement from at least one side of the thing. But watching these two teams, I can't do it. Can't do it. Where's Toronto and Sacramento? I'd rather watch that. Boogie Cousins is going to give me something.
If you watch the Sacramento, you ain't going to see Boogie Cousins, bro.
Oh, that's right. He ain't there anymore. My brain. Brain fly. I forgot. He got up out of there. Listen, I need something. I can't. And watching this guy throw his arms into people and get foul calls, I'm so sick of that as well. He walks all the time with that Euro step, talking about James Harden. I'm so sick of that. I can't stand watching them either. But I think they have a good team. And for what they put around him, it works.
But just listen to it on radio so you can keep up with it.
No, I'll go in and out, but intently sit and watch it, yeah, I can't do it. And the last series is the Boston-Washington series. That's the best series of them all. They going at it over there. They don't like each other. It's very clear. Isaiah Thomas done lost some teeth. He gave 53 to my man John Wall over there. John Wall had 40 that night, 12 assists, and meant absolutely nothing.
Before you get into this, because this kind of segue into my local talk radio.
Okay.
I'm listening to, I guess it's ESPN New York in the car. It's 4 in the morning. And I'm listening to, I guess it's Golick Jr.'s got a show.
Yeah, him and, yep.
Lumberg, he was caught up in the layoffs.
Was he?
Yeah, so he's not there.
I had that on the list. So no more. Really? And they kept Junior?
Yeah. Junior just got there. Hey, what are they gonna do with Pops over there? They'll fire him. Pops is ESPN Radio. That's the flagship show. What are they doing with him? So they got rid of Lumberg. So he's over there by himself. So they threw him right to the wolves. He's over there talking to the producer. When he run out of stuff, he's talking to the producer. But anyway, so after his show, Bill Daughtry comes on around 5 or 6, and then Mike and Mike from 6 on. I'm all into you right now. I can be, I'm in the hoorah, so I don't have the satellite radio, but I've got every radio station you want on my phone, so I can listen. I listen to all kind of stuff on my phone, so I could be tuning into some national radio if I want to. Let me see if I could work with my boy Mo and just try to listen to this New York radio crap that he's telling me to listen to all the time. So I'm listening about Isaiah Thomas. Some dentist calls in that calls all the time on the Bill Daughtry show and says, dude, that tooth was already a false tooth. You can tell by how much it didn't bleed and how perfect it was knocked out. It was already a fake tooth or whatever in there, and it wasn't his real tooth. I don't know how you know that, but I figured I'd give you that tidbit when you were like, yo, he lost some teeth. The dentist came on and said, if you lose a teeth, you'd be bleeding like crazy. So if you lost a teeth, and especially all the way up there, you would be bleeding like crazy. And he was like, that tooth came out too perfectly. It was whatever. And if you noticed on the broadcast, and I was going to tweet it out, but I didn't think I could get it all in 140 characters. I never heard somebody go on to try to put a tooth back in. Remember, they said that they attempted to put it back in and it fell out. I've never heard of somebody's real tooth getting knocked out and they try to put it back in. Have you ever heard that in your life? So, could be a little bit of gamesmanship here. And then he comes on and said, I never had any dental issues. He might be flat out lying. But whatever.
That's what he said?
Yeah, he said, I never had any dental issues at all, ever. That's what I said.
6 hours worth of dental work that day.
What can we believe now? I don't know. Well, what can we believe? But anyway, just really quickly, a little off the subject for the local radio. So I got. Go ahead. Okay.
No, that's actually a good story. You wouldn't have gotten that on national radio, for the record.
Okay, now let me get on this local radio real quick. So obviously the NBA playoffs are on right now and all this other stuff. But since there are no New York teams in the playoffs, I gotta listen about baseball and hockey all day. I get the Sports Center bleep comes in at the hit comes in before the segment. Golden State wins and Cleveland wins and such. Noah Syndergaard torn something in his side for 2 hours. So I'm like, so I can't find out anything that's going on in the NBA until yesterday when they start talking about maybe Porzingis is on the trading block. And then that's the NBA conversation I get. Yeah, bro, I never listen to the local radio again because I can't figure out, like, what's going on in the sports world right now is the NBA playoffs, period. And because what else is going on?
That's not true. Kentucky Derby was yesterday. Canelo Alvarez.
They didn't even talk. They talked about the fight. They didn't talk about the Kentucky Derby. They talk about I listen to the Rangers all day because the Rangers are in the playoffs.
Wait. You're in New York City, right? The Rangers are in the third round of the playoffs. Why would they not be talking about the Rangers? Second round. Why would they not be talking about the Rangers? They're talking about the the Boston Celtics and Golden State Warriors. Why would they be talking about them?
I'm just explaining to you why I don't want to listen to local radio because I don't want to hear 5 hours of Ranger talk. So I want to hear what's going on in the NBA playoffs too, but not just because. And it's fine, I get it. If you want to hear about your local team, listen to local radio. I have no interest in any of these local teams, but you're trying to convince me you need to listen to local radio. About the Rangers? You trying to tell me I need to listen to local radio?
It's local radio. It's not national radio. So therefore, they're not going to be having too much of a block or a segment on Golden State.
Understood, but why would you try to convince me tell me that I need to be listening to local radio?
Well, had you been listening throughout the season, you would have been hearing a whole lot about the Knicks. You would have been hearing a whole lot about the Nets and NBA in general. But right now, you're absolutely going to get baseball and hockey right now.
The point is, who wants to hear? Do you want to hear about the Knicks for 4 hours?
Actually, I can't listen to the Knicks for 4 hours. Yeah,
I can. Do you want to?
Yeah, I do it all the time. So I would have to say yes.
Okay. All right.
I would have to say yes because I do it all the time.
Okay. All right. So note to you. Yeah, I don't. So don't tell me to listen to local radio. I won't listen to that. Don't have me listen to local radio.
Who wins the Boston-Washington series?
Washington.
Who do you want to win the Boston-Washington series? John Wall or Damian Lillard?
John Wall.
Whoa, that was easy for you.
Very.
Whoa.
I like Damian Lillard.
That was easy for you.
Yeah, well,
it's a lot harder for me.
Again, I think, I don't even want to say it. I think John Wall's a better defender. I think John Wall's and I've watched some Washington games. I think John Wall, although John Wall's not going out getting you 60, which Damian Lillard might go out and get you 60, John Wall also gets you some steals and gets you a lot of assists in the game. And he just does more. It's not, Damian Lillard's a one-trick pony.
Okay. Tony Parker, is his career over?
I hope so.
Hope so?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
I hope so.
Why?
Tony Parker?
Is his career over?
I hope it is.
Why?
I mean, I already thought he was done. Now he's got to try to rehab this injury.
Oh, you thought he was done already?
Yeah. He's on his last
4 years as a backup somewhere in the NBA?
Okay, so you asked me if Vince Carter's career is done. I'm saying yes, but yeah, he probably play next year. So that's my answer. Like, could he play in the league? Probably.
Vince,
him being a starting point guard in the league? No.
Here's a nice, classy story for Golden State Warriors. I'm going to give them a little bit of credit right now. So they were going to sign Jose Calderon, backup point guard. Then Kevin Durant got hurt. You heard the story? Kevin Durant got hurt. They decided they were going to sign a bigger guy, and I forget who they decided to sign, but they had already told Jose Calderon that they were going to sign him. So they signed him for 2 hours and paid him $450,000. Anyway, great story. Kudos to the Golden State Warriors for them, because that's not happening often. It's definitely not happening often. What's going on with ESPN and these layoffs, man? Why? What has the big bad machine finally hit a space where they might not be number one? Fox Sports catching up?
No. So I actually read about this a few months ago, about what was going to happen. I just read these odd things, so just I've been nerding out sometimes. But essentially, the conversation was about the fact that so many people were consuming this content in so many different ways, both legally and illegally, that the revenue dollars aren't coming in to match up to be able to pay the salaries, right? So, like, before, everybody watched ESPN on TV. Now, you can get these hack sites and be watching all kinds of stuff, and you're not paying anything. And even when you're listening to it online, like, if you listen to it online, they'll still play some commercials. I don't know what the radio or ad revenue and the TV revenue, I'm sure there's some difference of what you get on the radio, what you have to pay to advertise on the radio, what you have to pay to advertise on TV or digitally. So they're just not getting in the same revenue that they used to get before. And I think that that's one of the things of why they're trying to slim down. The other theory that was floated out there, which I could kind of go with too, is they feel like the machine. Dan Le Batard had talked about this when Colin left, because when Cowherd left, Le Batard went from 4 o'clock to the 10 o'clock slot in the Cowherd slot. So he said he was telling a story. He said he was telling Cowherd, like, why are you going? Like, this is the biggest thing, you know. And I guess Cowherd wanted to go and be new, try to, you know, whatever. So, which he had criticized Dan Patrick for doing before. So he talks out both sides of his mouth every other day. So I get why you're like, Levitar said, look, man, doesn't matter. I could be here. John could be here. ESPN gonna be ESPN. So like, you're gonna turn on ESPN at 6 o'clock no matter pretty much who's on there. And they rolling the dice with Jamel Hill and Michael Smith, which I actually think the show's alright. But I don't know if it's gonna turn on some other people because it's so culturally different. It works for me, but I don't know how it's gonna work for everybody else. You know, that old conservative dude might be like, I'm tired of hearing about Tupac. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how that's gonna work for them on that. But other than that, it doesn't matter who's doing the 11 o'clock Sports Center, bro. We turning it on to see who won and who lost. So maybe they take that attitude and go, the machine's bigger than the personality. I don't have to be out here trying to pay somebody top dollar because their name has to cash in. It's almost like, are the Lakers bigger than any player? Or does the player make the Lakers? Like, the player's going to make the Minnesota Timberwolves. We know that. But is the player going to make the Lakers? So that may be that theory I'm kind of more in line to say, you know what, maybe they're just like, you know what, we don't need to have all these guys. We slot. It's a whole new host of people up on ESPN now. I have no clue who these people are. Like, I'm like, where are all the old folks at? It's just a whole bunch of new young people. They delivering the news to me. I don't have any. There's nobody on there. I'm like, geez, I just absolutely hate these guys. There's very few people on Sports Center. Like, there's some radio people that you care to like or don't like because it's a different dynamic when you're listening to. It's the opinions and all other stuff. Like, they're not really giving opinions on Sports Center. So they're just kind of delivering the news to you, and that's it. So maybe that's the theory that I would subscribe to.
Well, the one name that bothered me that's wrong.
Well, gotta take a break. Hold that. Last break. I'm trying to beat Breeze DBL, and I'm missing this by 3 minutes every time. We're supposed to be coming back right now. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Forty-three minutes after I back to the full disclosure show. You guys are 17 minutes away from 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. right, before we went to the break, we were talking about the ESPN losses or cuts or firings. The one guy, I'm a big Cowboys fan, Ed Water, used to basically always be at Cowboy Stadium. Probably 95% of the time he covered the Cowboys. So I saw that he was caught up on the list, and that was kind of sad for me to hear that about Ed Water. So I just wanted to put that out there.
It was a disagreement with Stephen A. Smith and the guy, where the guy said they're letting real reporters, they're getting rid of real reporters or something, and they're keeping on these people and just make noise and do something like. I'm
happened.
This is really loose. You could look it up, Stephen A. Smith. It just
happens.
No, it happened the day of.
All right, so I'm gonna make sure I go look for that. Yeah, I didn't see that.
And Stephen A. Smith responded, and it was not pretty. Running down his resume, and 20 years it is. Blah blah blah. So the guy looked at the guy's Twitter feed afterwards, and he was like, "Man, I never got this much traffic on my Twitter feed." So he said. But the world was crazy again, right? Because there's some people who was like so agreeing with this guy, and there was some people who were not. And then the race comes in again. It's just so funny that race comes into everything. Every single solitary thing. And so it was interesting. You can go back. It should be pretty easy to go back and backtrack.
For sure. I'll definitely. All right, switching gears a little bit. We have to talk about LeVar Ball. Lonzo Ball. So the Ball family have come out with a signature sneaker for Lonzo Ball.
It's not horrible.
Huh?
It's not horrible.
It's not horrible. Even before I go there, I'm going to give a little bit more of a backdrop. They tried to work out something with Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. And basically, they wanted their own creative control, and they wanted their own signature, everything. And essentially, they wanted to have Nike basically be the distributor at the end of the day. And they wanted to do everything else on their own and be independent. He's basically tried to turn this into the record game, to the music industry. So now he's selling his sneakers out of the trunk is basically what he's going to be doing as far as the internet. Now, I'm not so upset with what he's trying to do here at all. He's trying to cut the middleman out. He has a company. He won't say where the shoes are being made, but he has a company that's willing to make his shoes. So I give him credit for that. As you said, the shoe is not horrible looking. It's not the best looking shoe I've seen, but it looks better than that Steph Curry Under Armour shoe that came out last year that he had. It looks better than that. But a couple things I don't like. He came out, and the shoe came out, and the price point was $495. So for me, that's the first mistake that they made. He's trying to compare his shoe to Gucci and Prada, and not Nike and Adidas and Under Armour. He's trying to say his shoe is more on the high-end caliber with the other major designers. The question of why he put the price point where it was at $495, and he said, why not? That's what I think the shoe is worth. I was sitting around, I was thinking about it, and I said $495. I like that number. And this is what he said.
No market analysis, no nothing. Okay.
His market analysis was Gucci and Prada sell their shoes at that price, so why can't I sell mine at that price?
All right, real quick, have you ever seen anybody hooping in some Pradas?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Okay. Or flip-flop or slide for $220 that you can purchase for the Big Baller brand as well.
The same Adidas slides I get for $25?
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm mad. I don't even buy Michael Jordan slides, and his are $45 and $55. I don't even buy them. He wants $220 for his. But again, Prada and Gucci sell theirs at that price. It's a good price for him. He has no issue with it. But the other statement that bothered me more than anything was he said, if you can't afford the $495 shoe, then you're not balling. Or you're not a big baller, is what he said. That bothered me only from the kid's standpoint of it. So Shaquille O'Neal had already come out and tweeted him and said, you shouldn't be putting a shoe out that expensive, blah, blah, blah. And now I can't be mad at LeVar Ball for this statement because LeVar Ball's response was, Shaquille, you got sneakers out for $60 in Walmart or wherever it is you're selling your sneaker. You out there for the kids. Let them buy that shoe. So I didn't have an actual problem with that because the reality is this. Everything ain't for everybody. And maybe this shoe is not for kids. So that side I get. I just don't know how many of these shoes. I think he's going to take a big fall when he starts to try to go long term with this shoe at $4.95. It's not going to happen. I know that there were some celebrities who came out and some other athletes who said that they were going to buy them just to support them. And yes, I get it. They might buy one or two pair, whatever. Some people may just take them, buy a pair, and put them up, just in case this kid comes out and becomes the next Michael Jordan, right? In case he does, right? So you got to pay up that original shoe. It's just a figure of speech. Don't go too crazy.
Oh, okay.
I didn't believe it when I said it, but I said it because I need to get my point across.
I just saw the bright light. They just give me back, bro.
Yeah. It's just pure figure of speech.
Okay.
Pure figure of speech.
Donald Trump one. Okay.
But somebody's going to buy them just for that and put them in a box and keep them stored somewhere as well. Thoughts?
So if the two of them are in this together,
Son and okay,
like I'm sure they're in it together, but does the son want to do this as bad as dad? Assuming that they both want to do this, you go out on this ledge, that's fine. You take chances to get to where you want to be. If the father is saying, hey, this is what we can do since you're here, blah, 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 then the gamble's even more because the kid's gamble. Because now the kid can't sign with Under Armour or Nike or Adidas. So that money that he would have got, the little $3 million a year, whatever they would have gave, whatever number, it's gone. It's off the table. So
they said two.
Okay, so $2 million a year, whatever. That's out. Right? So if it's
what he offered. Sorry.
So if it's $10 million, that's $10 million that you just put on a blackjack seat, and it is not even your $10 million. So that's kind of crazy. I mean, I don't really understand. I never really understood the sneaker thing anyway. Right? Well, I promise you, I know I never paid $100 for a pair of sneakers. I like it. Now, I've had some sneakers that were $150 and I got them how I got them. I never physically went in my pocket and said, here's $100 for any sneakers, I don't think. If I did, maybe one pair of sneakers. Yeah, I'm usually in that 80 range, and I'm cringing if I gotta go there. And today, give me something for $49.99. I'm in heaven, right? Because it's just not like that for me anymore. Like I'm not out there trying to, I don't have a Windex on the leather trying to, hey, they get scuffed. Like I'm not sitting around. I might throw them in the washer and see how they work out. And if it don't work out, then I gotta go get some other sneakers. Now they running sneakers, and I'm gonna go get some more, whatever. But there are kids out here that are paying gobs of money for shoes and sneakers. There are people out here our age going to sneaker shows buying sneakers. So you would look at it personally and say, hey, they all going to be going to get their stuff made overseas somewhere for $5 anyway. So if he's making $4.90 per shoe instead of $30 per shoe, he don't have to sell as many shoes as you to make the money that you make. So from that side, he made me say, you know what? There are some kids that are going to go out here and buy this. Because remember, even in our time, when as youngsters, when the Jordans were 120, maybe, or whatever they were, which was an astronomical number in '89. You know what I'm saying? Like $120 for sneakers, which is probably, I don't know how to stretch it out to what it is now. But maybe 125 back then is 300. Maybe it's 320. I mean, we got sneakers out. We got Nikes out here for 250. So somebody's out there buying sneakers. How far are you gonna go? I mean, so maybe he's saying, how far you going? How you gonna test the limits and say how far you're gonna go? And what we do know is, I mean, and I know this from the restaurant business, or from the bar business, and the lounge business. People pay more for the dumbest stuff. We had a little stage that was 18 inches higher than the floor. People would pay to go up there. Oh, yeah, we want this section. I was like, really? Wait, so you're going to give us some more money for that? So people might, I'm not that guy. But I know some guys like that that'll be like, if I was rolling, I thought it might even be something crazy. I might buy a pair and put them in the closet. Like you said. Yeah, let's see. 30 years from now, I'll tell you, I got some vintage that's not worn. Somebody might come out here and say, you know, I'll give you $15,000 for these sneakers. Even if he's a bust. You know what I'm saying? If you just got one of the 8 left, somebody might say, hey, I'll take them. So, not from the perspective of I want to wear them. I would only look at it as an investment. So I would never put them on. You know, they would just be in the box and whatever they wrapped in, untouched. So I could say, here's some mint sneakers. But, I mean, it could be good marketing. I'm with you. You know, everything's not for everybody. You know, it wouldn't have been a chance in the world. Like, my parents weren't buying me. I couldn't get sneakers until I started working summer jobs at 13. You want those sneakers? It might be like, here go the 40 hours I'm going to give you. You could add the rest of that. Get whatever you want to get. I mean, it just was what it was. And then if the kid's old enough and he's working and wants to do it himself, go do it yourself. Shame on the parents if they out there spending $500 on some sneakers for some kid. Any kind of sneaker. The Prada or the Gucci sneaker. Anything. But I'm not mad at him for trying to put himself in a, you know, trying to cut out the middleman. I'm not mad at that. I'm with you. I'm not mad at that. I think he talks too much. And I hope that, so I feel about him the way you feel about Drake. And I just hope that the kid wants to do it as much as, because now it's not theory anymore. This is somebody's going to sign a check and say, so we can do this. Oh, I can do this for 5 years and then come out with a sneaker. That's what everybody's saying. Do this for 5 years, see how good the kid is. If the kid is great, it makes sense. LeBron James wants to leave Nike and roll out his own sneaker. It makes sense to him. You know, we don't know it. We don't know coming in. He couldn't turn down that 90. Imagine somebody is here, oh, we can make our own sneaker. He got 90 before he signed his contract.
Let me another observation about the Ball family. We can move on. I don't know what he and his wife do for a living or did for a living, but they seem to be living a pretty comfortable life. From what I see.
I think his wife was a teacher or something.
What does he do?
I don't know.
They seem to be living a pretty comfortable life. I mean, because I saw the backyard of the house and they had the whole basketball thing set up. It looked to be like they live a pretty comfortable life. All right. Hopefully it works out for them. We'll see how that turns itself out. NBA has and this is really quickly, NBA has another problem that they're going to have to figure out how to fix. This whole one and done or versus high school rule. So there's a kid that signed in who went into Kentucky in January named Mamadou Diallo because he graduated high school. He reclassified. He did something. But he graduated and got out of high school early. So he went and spent the last semester at Kentucky. He put his name in the draft. Because theoretically, he graduated high school the year before. So there's a loophole that they got to figure out how to close up. And apparently he's the second kid to do it. And I can't think. The kid Thon Maker, who's with the Toronto Bucks, did the same thing. So there is a loophole there. Milwaukee Bucks, right. There is a loophole there. They figure out how to close up. Because he never played in college, Thon Maker.
The best theory that I heard about this whole one and done thing is either let him go straight from high school or make him stay for a couple of years. I mean, that's the best thing if you're not going to just let them go when they want to go. The NBA is set up, all of these professional leagues is set up to protect, well, football and basketball, I know. So I don't know anything about soccer or whatever. They're set up to protect themselves from themselves, right? So you don't want the Kwame Brown anymore. So what we're going to do is make him play at least a year in college so we can see. But you should be able to see and make a decision if you want this guy or not. And if you got a bad pick, shame on you. You shouldn't be able to restrict the kid from being able to earn a living. If he's got a skill set, he's of age, he's got a skill set. And I'll take it further. The age doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, I'm watching 14-year-old tennis players. So if you're good enough at 14 in theory, which I couldn't see it, but if you are, and somebody thinks you're good enough, they should be able to hire you. If you were 16 years old and you were some kind of rocket scientist, ask somebody and say, you know what, I'll pay him. That's 16. Can you get some working papers? Get over here. So I don't like the way, the leagues operate like that. And it's only to protect themselves. Because the guy who makes the bad pick is probably in the owner's meeting complaining. Oh my God. It's so unfair. Wait a minute, dude. I understand that you have a small market franchise, but you've been getting the number one pick for the last 30 years. Shame on you for not being able to figure this out. So, that's the problem. As long as you're making them go, and everybody's going to try to find a way around it. Maybe it's me. I'm probably sending my kid to China. Go get some money. Yeah, go make some money. Go sign a contract in China. Go make some money.
I don't know if I'm saying
that kind of money, you got to pack up. I mean, if your son's making $1 million and you say, hey, you got to pay me $150 to come, you got to go.
A couple more things I know about that we're at 12 o'clock. Serena Williams pregnant. Thoughts?
Congratulations. And it's incredible that she won pregnant. But you know what? It is incredible. There's a lot of pregnant women work out. I know it's not the same thing, but it is incredible to find out that she won. She's easily the greatest female athlete that I can think of.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to leave that on the list because I want to talk about Ronda Rousey next week. And the other thing I want to talk about next week is Aaron Hernandez. We didn't get a chance to talk about that tragedy.
I really thought that we would get into that.
All right, so list, but I didn't get to spend so much time on the NBA. But next week, I promise we'll get into it because there's a couple things that I want to talk about.
I know fully disclosed today, Breeze DBL is looking for his phone. Maybe Siri is texting us. I don't know. I don't know what kind of tricky dicky phone he got going on, but be safe wherever you are. We have confirmed that he's domestic. So he's in the southern region visiting some family. So make sure you tell everybody we said what's up. He's safe down there. Fully disclosed, maybe he'll be back next week. Definitely in 2 weeks because I think he'll be back by then. I think he's still gone for a little while. So we call this extended vacation that he's on here. Good to have you back, brother, man.
Really good to be back, man. Great show today, man.
Are you going to the gym today?
Probably not. Because I got to make that other stop at 3. I got some other stuff I need to do, so.
Gotcha. All right. Same bat time, same bat channel next week, y'all. Peace.